Hello, I'm Bill Wasch. Have you ever heard of the Connecticut Senior Games? Well, they happen right here in our state every year. On this edition of Seniors Living a Quality Life, we'll meet some of the active seniors involved in the games who make it their mission to stay physically competitive. We will also meet older adults living in West Hartford who are using a senior job bank to find new careers and add to their income. Finally, we'll find out from Yale University experts what we can be doing to prevent falls. All up next on Seniors Living a Quality Life.
I think I really did want to come back to work because I enjoy the structure. This job is part-time, it's 3 days a week. It gives me a lot of flexibility and I like the focus. When I wasn't working, it seems like you don't get anything done. It takes you all day to do what you do in 2 hours when you're working. I just felt more efficient and better, and certainly the income makes you feel more comfortable.
One of the seniors that we've gotten a job for is Vicki Albert, and she has been working in the West Hartford Senior Center as Director of Volunteers. Vicki is one of those people who just has a great verve for being active and wants to participate, and we're just so pleased that we were able to get her a job that she now loves.
I was interested in the job. I like the contact with people. Staying at home is kind of isolating. So I think that the main 3 reasons is to be out, contact with other people, not to feel isolated, and to have structure to my week. I think one thing about not working that I found difficult was that I didn't know how to plan my time. So I can plan my time much better.
I think she felt that there was a need to be able to be productive and do something that was that she felt was very worthwhile and made a difference in other people's lives, which she certainly is doing.
And then we have a bulletin that we mail and tells about all the activities.
The job bank was started in 1974 by the town of West Hartford. At that point, we didn't know if it was going to work or not. People were wondering what they should do to have some meaning in their life after retirement, and it took off in 1974, and it has been very, very successful ever since. We are a private, nonprofit corporation. We are funded entirely by voluntary contributions. The town of West Hartford has been most generous to us, give us our office in the town hall for $1 a year with a 20-year lease. We raise all of our own funds. It's helped us keep our independence, and I think we're seen by the public as special because of that. Being independent, we can do what we need to do to help older people get jobs.
Oh, I see. Are you already on here? Is that
Yes,
it?
my name is
When you're working, you're with people all your life on the job, and then when you retire, there can be a tremendous void of not being with the people. So going back to work gets people the opportunity to be with others again and feel that they're more human. There's also the need for feeling good about yourself as far as your ego is concerned. And when people retire and go home, there's nobody there to say, hey, you did a good job. And that's very important, too, for the well-being of all people, of all ages.
The registration form, probably keep it as white, so it'll be easier to read. But yeah, it looks good. Good job.
Thanks.
Seniors come to the job bank because they know we are a go-between, that we can help them get a job with an employer. And they are looking for an accounting clerk. Would that be of anything that you'd be interested in doing?
Sounds very interesting.
Okay. They may feel a little bit cautious about approaching an employer because of the perceived age discrimination. They come here because they know an employer is calling here because they want to hire an older worker. And so it's a very happy situation all around.
Get up on the couch. You want water? A toy?
Lucille Johnson is a wonderful lady who loves animals and had, in her retirement years, decided she really would like to indulge that interest. So she came in and registered with us, and we get calls from people who have animals that they leave alone during the day, and they need to have their pets taken care of in their home.
I retired from Hartford Hospital and I decided I want to do something else, so I went to the job bank. I've been going there for like 3 years because I hadn't been too long retired from work, and I decided to go there. I think the job bank here in West Hartford, after people retire from work, I think that's the best one.
We help about 150 individuals every year. We see people from all ages, starting at age 55. We don't care what their upper age limit is. We don't care where they live. We don't care what their skills are. We don't care how much they want to work. We have no income requirements. They just have to be 55 years of age and older.
This raincoat's kind of big for you.
People come in for a variety of reasons. Sometimes they just need structure, need a reason to get out of bed in the morning, to feel worthwhile about themselves at the end of the day, that they've accomplished something. Some people need to have extra income, that Social Security or pensions is just not enough.
I took care of patients for 25 years, so I want to do something different, so that's why I'm taking care of dogs now. And I like it better, much better, because I love animals. I got 3 of my own. Which way you want to go, up or down? You want to go up this way? And before I did the dog, I walked every morning 2 miles, and then I came back home. Because I'm not a type of person to sit down. And if you sit down when you retire from work, you start aching and all kind of aching. So you got to keep your joints moving. That's my opinion. And it wasn't finance the problem. I just want to do something to keep myself young. Go and get your carrot, then I'll wipe you off after, okay?
In some cases, since we are starting at age 55, we see people who would like to work full-time.
I am definitely not ready to retire, and I do like to work. Plus, I don't think my wife would let me retire. So I just have to keep on going, and I do love to work, there's no question about it. I got started with the Senior Job Bank originally. I've been about 25 years in architecture, and just figured it was time for a switch. And luckily I just happened to be 55 years old at that point. The Senior Job Bank, the way that they generally operate is a client will call and make a request. And at that point, the Senior Job Bank will give the client a list of 3 different names.
Well, I've lived here 5 years and I've never had a dishwasher, and I decided it was long overdue to have one put in. So I called the Senior Job Banks and they gave me David's name, and he's going to install it for me.
I was contacted by Diane. She said that she needed someone to install a dishwasher. And I said, fine, I'll come over and have a look, see what the situation is. We had another guy from the Senior Job Bank come in, do the electrical. So I'm here today to install the dishwasher and also hook up the plumbing.
Hey, Dave,
Good afternoon, Diane. Good to see you. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Nice wet day out there.
I know, I'm so glad you're here.
Okay, let's do the dishwasher.
Well, the reason I called the Senior Job Bank is because I don't know a lot of people personally, and it's always nice to have a referral instead of trying to go out and just blindly find someone to do the work for me. Well, it definitely gives me a comfort level, makes me feel a lot safer having somebody come in that somebody else knows has been, sent here. And the job bank had really good things to say about David when I called, so I was really comfortable having him here. Plus, he only lives a couple blocks from here, so it's nice to have a neighbor come do some work for me.
Definitely a plus for the community to have these kind of services offered through the town. I think it's a very good thing. There's a real deep satisfaction in being able to do this kind of work for people that can't do it. Getting paid is a nice thing too. It really has been a very good relationship with the people that I've worked with. I've had a lot of callbacks for extra work. So it's been a very good association.
Next up, we find out from experts what the major risk factors are for falling and how to minimize those risks.
My doctor decided that I should come here because he was fearful of my falling. I wasn't walking correctly. Well, I had fallen before, but not quite, I didn't hurt myself badly. But the doctor thought in order for me to walk better, I should come to therapy.
Hold it. Hold it. Good. Back slowly.
My muscles were a little bit weak, but I seem to be doing a great deal better. And I feel stronger than I had previously.
We used to think that falls was just an inevitable part as people got older. But the more that we've looked at it and studied it, we find that most older people don't fall, obviously, and those that do fall for readily identifiable reasons. They have problems with their walking or their balance, they take too many medications, there's hazards within the environment that put them at risk for falling. So what we're interested in is identifying which older people are likely to fall, identify the health problems that make them at greater risk of falling, and then intervening along with them to reduce those health problems and prevent falls from happening and prevent a lot of the complications that occur when people do fall.
As a physical therapist, I do a risk assessment on older adults to identify the 7 risk factors that are common among older adults that can lead to falls. I would be doing a gait assessment, look for gait deviations that could put an older adult at risk for falls. A balance assessment. We'd look at shoes and feet for foot problems and inappropriate footwear. We'd do a sensory test on lower extremities to see if there is any decreased sensation in the lower extremities that may lead to problems with gait or balance.
Does that feel a little better? It's still a little bit high. Yeah, but it's a lot better. But it's easier to take away than it is to add to the length.
Another piece is finding what we call the correct assistive device. Some people it's a cane, some people it's a walker, some people it's those scooters. Just like there's the right medication for the right disease, there's the right assistive device and the wrong assistive device. Another piece of balance we don't necessarily think about is our footwear. And the best footwear are thin soles that are firm and what we call a high box. The more the shoe covers the foot, the safer and the more effective it is. A final thing in terms of balance are glasses.
I'd like for you to take a walk and we'll walk out, but you need to change your glasses so that you have your distance glasses on.
Right, okay.
There's been some really elegant studies showing that multifocal lenses are a risk factor for falls, and so we recommend people take their multifocal lenses off when they walk.
So what I need you to do is come around here and lie down. We'd also check for postural hypotension by having the patient lie down on a table for 5 minutes, checking blood pressure lying down, and then checking blood pressure upon immediate stance. And then again after a minute to see if there's a definite drop in blood pressure. If they are positive for postural blood pressure or feel dizzy, then we would recommend that they are careful about not getting up too quickly. Anytime you first stand up after lying down, just sit for just a minute, and move your arms and legs around a bit so that you can get the blood circulating before you stand. And then in addition, we would recommend that they take an updated list of their medications to their physician.
Medications are one of the most difficult issues that face us as physicians taking care of older people, because increasingly there are quite effective medications that are available to treat a lot of the health problems that older people have, and that's a good thing. Unfortunately, almost all medications have bad effects as well as good effects. One of the major bad effects of medications is its effect on people's ability to balance themselves well and walk safely. We know the total number of medications increases risk of falling, and there seems to be a magic number at 4. people taking 4 or more medications are at greater risk of falling than people taking fewer than 4 medications. And obviously we don't say don't take your medications, but we do say is there a way to have you on the lowest number of medications and the lowest dose of those medications that will treat your diseases but also reduce your risk of falling.
Push up. Hold. Make it even. Slowly down.
Then once we do the balance and gait evaluation, then the next step is to identify the intervention that will improve their balance and gait. So that, very often this is muscle strengthening exercise programs. We now know that even very frail older people, we can challenge their balance safely, and over time, by having them do ever more complicated maneuvers, that we can actually improve their balance.
Keep your chest forward to counterbalance. Feel your toes coming up a little bit. Hold those toes up, keep those thighs straight, pull with the belly, bring yourself back to center. So we're trying to utilize the righting reactions that you had ever since you were born. In doing so, if you use the righting reaction, it keeps your center of weight between your feet, and if your center of weight's between your feet, you're not going to fall over. Are you afraid when you go out of the house now?
Not in the least.
Because I remember when we first started, that was...
No, right.
Most of the time, people that have an issue, they don't know that necessarily they can do anything about it. They just think it's the part of aging. As you get older, that's the way it is. People are afraid. So if I go somewhere, I'm going to fall if I go somewhere, so why should I go? Before you get off straight.
I did have walkers. I did have canes. I had crutches. But where I was more or less confined before, now I go wherever I want and do whatever I want to do. I would say to anybody that if they're having a problem, seek help and get rid of it. Don't just sit around waiting for it to change by itself. It won't happen. It's been a real improvement in the quality of life for me.
I think the primary thing that older people can do themselves is to request the services. They can go to their healthcare provider and say, I'm concerned about my risk of falling, and I understand there's now treatments that I can have access to that might decrease my risk of falling. Could you check my blood pressure when I lie and I stand? Could you look at my medications to see if there's any that can be reduced? If I have difficulty with my walking, can you refer me to a physical therapist so that I can get some further assessment and treatment to improve my balance and gait? The reason we're interested in fall prevention is, number one, it's an incredibly common problem. 3 out of 10 people 65 and older who live in the community will fall every year. But not only is it common, it's associated with a lot of bad outcomes. Probably the one that people are most aware of is hip fracture. And the vast majority of hip fractures occur as a result of a fall. But even in addition to physical injuries, we know that falls are one of the major contributing factors to what we call restricted activities. People who used to do activities, whether it's going to church, going out playing bingo, babysitting grandchildren, going shopping. It's one of the most common reasons why people stop doing important social and physical activities that they used to do. It's a major contributing factor to functional decline. It's one of the most common reasons why people move from the community into a nursing home. You're 3 times more likely to require a nursing home if you've had a fall than if you haven't. And it's associated with a lot of bad outcomes that we'd like to prevent.
Seniors from around the state actively participate in the Connecticut Senior Games every year. Next up, we'll meet some of these inspiring athletes.
I've been doing the Senior Olympic program since 1988. I heard about it and I went there and I signed up for something simple like horseshoes. And then I saw them running and I got a kind of feeling I felt like I wanted to run, and so I asked the fellow if I could run. He said, sure, sign up, and I did the 50-meter dash. And after that, that started me off. I have a degree, you know. LMM, that means a lean, mean machine. It's a way to go. I tell all the younger people I meet, keep moving.
A friend of mine started Senior Games 24 years ago. I have been involved with it for about the last 12 years. I think that this is at the far end of the spectrum in terms of the seniors who want to do more than the normal walking in their neighborhood or walking around a track at their high school or what have you. This is providing that very fun element of competition. I think the essence is to get as many people to participate in these activities. Yesterday there was competition down in West Haven for horseshoes and shuffleboard. So there's less competitive type activities as well.
Well, the Senior Games have been going on a long time. Next year they celebrate their 25th year. It's an annual event. There's a winter games and a summer games. You need to be 50 years old minimum, and the age categories are 5 years. So it would be 50 to 54, 55 to 59, 60 to 64, etc.
50 to 54 age bracket playing on court 1, okay?
Our oldest athlete this year is 88. Last year, I think we were about 52% men and 48% women. This year, we're going to wind up with close to 500 athletes. We probably, during a qualifying year, probably should double that to about 1,000. We do have softball and basketball, and then we have mostly individual sports. Tennis, racquetball, shooting, badminton, table tennis. Track and field's our big one.
I've been involved with the Senior Games, I guess, for the past 3 years. What I get out of it is a sense of competition. Since I've been involved in basketball for years and years, I played pro football. Being in that kind of competition, it never leaves. So coming here to the Senior Games, it's the same thing. I got up this morning raring to go just to hit the ball, even though I'm 71. So on the tennis court, I'm after every shot, and I'm alert, and I try to anticipate where the ball is going. It's the being together and participating in the different sports and being around each other, admiring each other for being able to get around as well as we do.
I've been involved in table tennis since I was a young boy. I'm in the 65 to 69 group. I've won about 7 or 8 gold medals. I'm a people person, and I enjoy working with people and playing table tennis with other participants, and it gives me a little better idea of the quality of my table tennis because there's a lot of very good players. So it's a good sport, it's an active sport, keeps you moving, and it's non-contact sport. It's an aerobic sport, so it's really nice, and I just enjoy playing.
I started in the Senior Olympics in 1992 and have been active in it ever since then. At my age level, there are no other competitive tournaments of any type. When you were younger, of course, there were many of them. So one of the things is that at least you're testing your skills against other players from other towns and then other states. Number one is the competition. Number two, it forces you to stay in shape. Being a part of the game makes me feel as though I'm doing something to be an example to even my children or to other fellas coming up, let's say who are in their 40s, 45, 50s, and they're thinking, maybe I'll pack it in. And this has helped a lot of them say, well, I'm going to keep playing until I get old enough to get into the Senior Games. Even if you haven't been participating in anything for a while, if you just get yourself in a little bit of condition and come out, it's all in the doing, it's all in the competing. It's not a matter of that you have to win a medal. It's getting out there and doing something. Keep the body moving.
Join us next time when we explore ways to stay in our own homes longer by taking advantage of home care options as we age. We will also follow one woman's journey from living in her own home to moving into senior housing in downtown New Haven. All next time on Seniors Living a Quality Life.
Okay, we'll just
Join us next time as we learn what it takes to participate in the Connecticut Senior Games. And we'll find out from experts how we can prevent, wait a minute now, I was going to say, how we can prevent better falls. How we can better prevent falls. All next time on Seniors Living a Quality Life. Okay, I think I've got it.
Did you have a period after games?
Pardon?
Yeah,
I gotta keep them on the knee.
That just helps better. That looks good.
Okay, and then have, a senior games
Yeah.
beat, and we'll find out from experts, so that they're totally two
That there's
different
a
stories.
break between those two, okay.
Okay, and did you want to try read it again, or
No,
you
I
want
think I'm okay.
Just, but don't really do it. Okay. Go ahead. And we're standing by.
Okay. I'm not rolling.
No.
Take these off, yeah.
Okay. And standing by for makeup. And roll tape. And action.
Seniors Living a Quality Life was made possible by the generous contribution of our presenting sponsor, Masonacare, with additional support from Qualidime, Kearns & Kearns of West Hartford, and the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving.
A production of CPTV Connecticut.